Well, we're preparing to take on Cheltenham away from home this weekend. It feels like it's been a really positive 3-game run, 7 points from 9, and it sort of feels like we're building a bit of momentum at the moment.
Yeah, definitely. It's good that we're turning, some of these good performances into wins and, good away points that probably should have been a win. So yeah, it's getting that consistency in results. I think performances have been there. Just those fine margins maybe not gone for us as much. But over the last 3 games, I think they have, and we're getting probably what we deserve.
And in the last 2 matches, we've come from behind to get points. Probably after conceding, I think as a defensive unit, you probably consider quite sloppy goals. Yeah,
obviously, conceding from set pieces is frustrating, especially for us back lads and keepers. So, we were disappointed at the time, but I think it shows character and the togetherness of everybody in the team that we're able to come and stay calm and composed. You can be frustrated, but at the same time not panic and stay composed and get ourselves back in the game, which we did.
Particularly against Lincoln last week, yes, we equalised from a mistake from them, but it felt like even if that hadn't happened, the way we performed in the second half, that we probably would have gone on to get something from the game anyway, I think.
Yeah, you speak to any footballer, there's certain games that you play, and I've said this to a few of the lads and the gaffer, that you always feel like you're going to win. Just the way the game was going and the control we had on the game, I always almost knew that we'd win that game. And it was probably a lot closer than it needed to be. Obviously without, unfortunately, getting sent off, but even then it felt quite comfortable. I don't think they had too many chances or didn't cause us many problems. So, it was a good win and something to build on.
You mentioned when Alex Hartridge did get sent off out. Obviously, when a team goes down to 10 men, the other team, it spurs them on. But defensively, I think it certainly made us stronger because it made us even more committed to clinging on to those points.
Yeah, I think so. It was probably shakes everyone up a little bit if they need that. But I don't even think it really needed that. I think we were very in control of the game, and it's quite often, especially being a goal up with 10 minutes to go, that they throw the kitchen sink at you, and it can be quite difficult. But again, I don't think it was. I think we really controlled it, and everybody defended well and worked hard.
Cheltenham, like ourselves, had been on a bit of a tough run, and then they've picked up 7 points from their last 3 matches as well. As a defender, you'll be coming up against Alfie May this weekend, and I'm sure you've seen his goals from last weekend. It could have quite a job on your hands.
Yeah, no, he's a very good player. I've played against him definitely once this season anyway at their place. No, he's a good player. He's lively. He's almost like a pest, really. The nicest way to put it. But no, he's taking nothing away from him. He's a great player. Scored an unbelievable goal, or a couple of goals at the weekend. So fair play to him. So yeah, we'll all, especially us, I suppose, at the back, will need to be on our game to get something from the game.
Like I said, you've got that experience of playing at Cheltenham, like we have in the Cup earlier this season. It's a small ground, very close to the pitch, and I think it can often be quite a difficult atmosphere to play in.
Yeah, it's a tight stadium, quite a small pitch. But yeah, no, we're looking forward to it. There's a lot of games in that like that in this league, so we've just got to grind these ones out and put our philosophy on the game and control it as much as we can, and hopefully take the points.
You weren't here at the time, but back in August we played them in the Carabao Cup and won 7-0 at their place. Has that been brought up against by any of the squad at all?
I did briefly hear it. It's not something we're all talking about, but yeah, I did briefly hear that there had been a 7-0 win. Yeah.
So, and just how football can change. I think a week later they came to SJP and beat us 1-0. So sort of avenge that defeat, if you like.
Yeah, it's probably the old saying of we probably owe them one again. So it's not nice to lose points at home to anybody, especially after beating someone by 7 goals. So yeah, you could say that. To us, it's just another game that we want to go and put a very good performance in, like we have been doing, and hopefully that'll be enough to win.
It'd be interesting to know, obviously, when you came to the club in January, what your perception of Exeter was before you joined, and whether now you're here, has it matched that? Or are we perhaps a different club to what you expected? And considering where we are in the league, if that's where you perhaps expected us to be.
Obviously, that's almost what I'm trying to implement a little bit. Obviously, I've come from somewhere where the expectations, no disrespect, are probably a bit higher for this season. But I'm trying to implement. There's not much difference. I've spoken to you before, and I've played in a team that's been pushing to be in that top three and consistently been in the playoffs most of the season. And no disrespect to anyone, but there isn't that much difference. It's probably, like I say, them fine margins in games and then little bits of quality and that probably ruthlessness in both boxes that keeps them up there, and consistency in performances. But that sounds like a lot, but it isn't. It's small percents that keep them up there. So, that's what myself and a few others, are trying to implement and put on this team.
Is there almost a target amongst the group that, 17 points to the playoffs is probably impossible at this stage, but to almost be the best of the rest? Because there seems to be the league sort of been split in two, and we seem to be at the top of that split where there's a few points to the team above us and who are all sort of running away with it, and then that second group at the bottom.
Yeah, I think this league's done that quite maybe for 1 or 2 seasons now. It's split into kind of, there's like a third and then the 2/3 at the bottom. Yeah, it's we know how many games are left, how many points are up for grabs. I think we all want to finish as high as possible, and it'd be great to maybe chase some of them down in that top pile and try and sneak into it somewhere. So hopefully, if we can carry on the run that we're starting to put together now, that might be a possibility.
I think we still have to play every single one of the top 7. I mean, we could have quite an impact on how the league table finishes at the top.
Yeah, of course. They're the games you want to play in as players. Your Sheffield Wednesdays and your Ipswich's away. They're brilliant games to play in and be a part of. And at the same time, it's a great chance to put spanners in people's seasons. With no disrespect, but that's what I want to be trying doing anyway. We want to see who's the team that stopped them doing this, and what game did it go wrong, and we want to be a part of that at the end of the day. So yeah.